Once upon a time in ancient Greece, there lived a young man named Nikos, who was convinced that he was the wisest person in the world. He had read many books, studied with the best teachers, and had an answer for every question. One day he decided to travel to Athens, the city of philosophers, to prove to the world his knowledge. Upon arriving in Athens, Nikos soon learned about the great philosopher Socrates. He was intrigued and wanted to challenge him, to prove to everyone that he was the wisest. Nikos made his way to the marketplace where Socrates was known to engage in discussions with people. When Nikos arrived, he found Socrates surrounded by a group of young people, listening intently to his words. Nikos approached him and with a tone of arrogance asked, "Socrates, I have come to prove to the world that I am the wisest. Please tell me, who is the wisest person in the world?" Socrates looked at him and said, "I am sorry, but I cannot answer your question. I am but a simple man who knows very little." Nikos was taken aback by this response. He had expected Socrates to challenge him, to engage in a philosophical debate. Instead, he was met with humility and honesty. Nikos couldn't believe that the great philosopher, known for his wisdom, would say something like that. He tried to provoke Socrates with more questions, but he remained calm and answered them in a way that only deepened Nikos's confusion. Finally, Nikos could not take it anymore and asked, "Socrates, how can you be so wise when you say that you know very little?" Socrates replied with a smile, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. I am wise because I acknowledge my ignorance and seek to learn from others." Nikos was struck by these words. He realized that his arrogance and pride had blinded him to the true meaning of wisdom. He thanked Socrates for his lesson and left the marketplace a changed man. From that day forward, Nikos continued to study, but with a new perspective. He realized that there was always something to learn from others, and that true wisdom came not from having all the answers, but from asking the right questions. And so, the young man who had set out to prove himself the wisest in the world had instead learned one of the greatest lessons of all.